Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 10 of Cities Skylines with the Natural Disasters DLC. In this video I'm going to start working on some of the suggestions that have been given in the comments, mostly regarding trying to sort out some of the traffic issues, mainly by sort of separating my industrial district from my residential district as far as the roads go anyway, because they still, both sides of the city have direct connections to the highway, so it'd be better if they were using the highway to move around rather than actually using the inner streets between the city. And secondly, getting some public transport in there as well. That does mean, of course, that we'd have been better off upgrading the capacity of these roads, but I think we'll be fine. I mean, when you think about it, there's two slip roads that lead onto this 3-lane road. So essentially, you've got 2 lanes of traffic filtering into a 3-lane road for one little section. And then it filters back down into a 2-lane road, so it should be okay. However, if we were to destroy the connections between them, which roads would we destroy? We've got this pretty major arterial backbone over here at the back, which I don't really think I want to get rid of. I mean, it is causing a fair bit of traffic, but we're using it to put things along the side. I don't know. I'm not too sure how we're going to deal with that. Another thing that has been suggested, of course, is moving a lot of the things that cause pollution over onto this island. Now, that could be a good idea with things like the sewers and stuff like that, but the other problem is a lot of the things that cause pollution are things like the landfills and the incinerators, and they pretty much have to be near the buildings that you want them to service, because the trucks have to go out from those buildings, so like from your landfills. The trucks have to go out from the landfills to go and pick up the garbage. You can't just put all of the landfills miles away and all the trucks will struggle to get there. So we will try and optimize things as we go through, but that's not going to be my highest priority. However, one thing that we do want to try and do is get some metro lines in. That is a very good idea because it will reduce traffic if people don't have to drive to work. So get some metro lines in from the residential area, get them to go all the way over to the industrial area, and we should be good. Because we've got a couple of industrial zones here as well. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. We've got a fair bit of money in the bank. We are slowly gaining our population back. We're making a lot of money. So let's go and have a look at, we want metro. So the first thing you need to do is get metro stations. And decide where we want to put them. So they only take up a small amount of space on the surface because the rest of them goes underground. Now, we do have some underground roads. I'm not sure if they can intersect, so we do want to be careful with this. But let's get one over here in this part of the residential area. Obviously, it's upset someone because we've just destroyed their house. Then let's get another connection over here in the high-density residential. It can travel over here to this residential area. And then it can make its way down into this industrial area and then loop its way back. So let's see if we can connect all of those together. So we are going to start in this industrial area. These are going to be some very sort of janky lines. We could go for curved ones if we really wanted to, I suppose. So we can sort of curve around this way. So let's curve into there. And then we're going to go from this one and run out to this zone here. That's a bit of a tight curve there. We should be going that way, really. There we go. Oh, really, you should run these things in straight lines, but I'm just trying to make it slightly less ugly than it is. So there we go. And then we want one to run from here down into this zone. And then from here, we'll probably just run all the way underneath and come this way around. And get you... That's far too wide a connection. Nope. There we go. So now we have a continuous line. So now we can actually set up a line. So we want to start here. So we start in the residential. And we go residential. residential, industrial, and back to the residential right there. So we can give that line a colour. I think you have to do it here, so I've got to try and find the metros now. There's one. So we can give that... I'm sure you used to be able to give that line a colour. I think you actually have to physically grab a metro train to do it, actually. Paste down isn't letting me go down now. Let's go back into the metro tool. Can we see... There's one of the metro trains right there. Want to click on you. I didn't break the thingy. What are you doing? Let's pause. I want to select the metro train. Used to be able to do this. Why is it messing up? Is it because I have the track thing selected? Looks like I've put an extra stop in there that I didn't need. So I've messed that one up. There we go. It's just an extra stop. Right. So how do I select you? If I'm just on any public transport mode, I should be able to see you. Metro. Oh, we do it from there now. Fine. Okay, so that's the green line. So we can see how that works there. Right. So I don't have to try and select the thing manually. Good stuff. But we do still need another metro line coming down into this industrial estate. So what we'll probably do is we can share a lot of the same lines. Now, can we join a lineup with an extra tunnel that already exists? What I was thinking, and it looks like we can, because we might want to miss this industrial zone out completely. So we might want to run a line out from here and come out in this direction. Because we don't need to go to that industrial zone. And we'll sort of come... Like, you can't cross over, but we can join and cut through, I would assume. Invalid shape. Let's get you moved over to here. And then, yeah, we can connect you to there. And then from here, we will get you out in this direction. And we need a metro station, of course, so let's get one over... Do you want to have one running in this direction? I guess it'll be fine. So we'll put one right in the middle. And let's go ahead and sort of curve that up. And then we want one running out in this direction. Curve you back around. And you are going to go all the way over here. And join back up onto this side. So what we need now is another stop planner. And we'll start it from this one. So you're going to go from here. You're going to go to the residential. The residential. The residential. And then what you should be doing is coming back down here. So if we connect you back to this one. But you're actually taking that route to the residential. You're not going the way that I want you to go. Which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and get rid of these extra stops for the moment then. Because that's not the way I want it to work. Let's go ahead and put a couple of extra stops in then. We can have another one over here somewhere near this. Mind, it's going to be almost impossible now to connect that on, isn't it? And we could remove some of the line, I suppose. Of course, they don't have to go around in a circle. So if that's the way it wants to do it, fine. Let's let it do it that way. So we are going to start here. And we want to go to this residential, this residential, this residential. And we want to come back down to this stop here. Now, it is using that line, so we'll leave that in there. But it doesn't seem to want to use this line, so let's take that out for the time being. Save some space. So we've got a couple of metro lines in there now. And that's the station. We don't want to get rid of that. So let's go in and have a look at the metro line. And metro line 2, we'll change the colour of this one to the black line. Because this is the one that's going to the... Can we name them? Yeah, we can. This is the oil line. And apparently that didn't work. Oil line. Do I have to hit enter? Yes, because I clicked off. And this is the industrial line. So they are starting to use a few. They're starting to take some people around. So maybe that will help the traffic out. So one of the problems we've got down here in the industrial zone, there's definitely some people who are upset. Not enough raw materials. So it looks like a lot of the oil industry is now starting to disappear now. And I guess that's fine. I mean, the oil's not an infinite resource. It is starting to get used up. As you can see, a lot of the oil has now gone. There's a little bit of it still down here. But some of these buildings are struggling to find oil, which is where we're making a lot of our oil, to be honest. A lot of our money is coming from this area. So we might have to unzone this from an oil zone. There's still oil here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the districts mode. And I'm going to create two separate districts here. I'm going to go ahead and sort of undistrict this bit. I'm going to make this into a new district. This is not going to be the oil district. This is going to be a new district. Let's just stop them doing that. So this is going to be in a new district right here. Playing up a little bit because I can't see the other district. So there we go. So this isn't the oil district. This is called Moore Square, which I guess will do. And this zone, so what have we got here? Tourism specialisation, leisure specialisation, or non-commercial. Remove commercial specialisation from the selected district and return the zone to default commercial. Okay. So this is industrial. So we just want to put this back to forestry, farming, or oil, generic industry. So we put that to generic industry. So what should happen now is all of these buildings here that were doing oil will slowly convert over. What's that icon there? It's one of the new ones and I can never remember what it is. Oh, it's a burnt down taxi stand. Let's just go and rebuild that. It's the burnt down symbol. I remember now. So we've still got a little bit of oil industry going on here for the time being. Now we're doing relatively well. There's a few problems going on over here. We've got a landfill that is full. Let's start getting that emptied. We've got a lot of abandoned buildings around here. So it doesn't tell me why it's abandoned. Yes, it does. Because there are not enough workers. So is that not enough workers of the correct education level? Or just not enough places for people to live? So we don't have a high enough population. Which of those is true? Certainly having a lot of issues on this road still. Now, it'd be nice to get a high-density residential area over here as well. Of course, we need a way to connect everything together, which could be a little bit messy because we've already got a lot of congestion here. And we could go ahead and put in another main road that runs across, especially if we could just extend that road over there. Let's go ahead and have a little look at doing that. So that is a 4-lane road with trees. Let's make sure we're on the not that one, we want the straight road tool. So if we go from there, it's mostly because of the pylons, which is fine. We can build across to there. And then before we do anything else, we want to get a motorway or a highway junction in here. So let's just go ahead and get that sorted. And again, just best way of doing it is deleting a big chunk of road, so you've got a gap that you can get your connections in. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the highways, get the highway junction, rotate it around to face the right direction. So approximately there, that should do. And then we want to go back to highways again. So we'll drive on the left, so we go that way and that way. And then from this side, that way and that way. So the question is then, how do we deal with these connections here? How did we do it over there? I think we went into a sort of a roundabout. And it's alright doing a sort of a roundabout, but they are a little bit tricky. So let's go to... Well, we can do the straight tool for that way. If we go... Because they're a little bit close together. Let's move one out in that direction. And then let's get another one that comes in and connects up like that. That makes it a little bit easier doing this. So we are still trying to do sort of curved roads for some reason here. Why won't you go... Why are you trying to curve? How did I do it over here? I had two straight roads coming in and it actually worked because they were further apart. So let's go ahead and just delete this road. I've got a plan for this. So let's try and get both of these roads down here. And we do want to separate them up a little. And then we'll see if we can do this sort of curved road now. So you want to sort of come out here. Well, in fact, you want to sort of come out here and curve. Still won't quite curve in the sort of direction that I want it to. But we're just trying to make... That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think last time I actually did it with the freehand tool, to be honest. So let's go and try that again. So we kind of just want... It doesn't even have to be a massive roundabout. It's just a good way of getting people on and off of the freeway. There we go. So that's essentially what we're trying to do there. And then what we can do is we can actually then just run a big capacity road from that. Which we probably will actually just run a smaller road. So let's get you straight roads, just running... I don't mind that little bit of a curve, actually. Let's get you running off in that direction. Probably have another one running off in this direction. And that will need connecting up there. So let's go ahead and do like so. And I think what I'd like to have... This is going to be sort of heavy residential. So let's try and concentrate on having good capacity roads up here. I think we can unpause right now. So we will need power over here. We will need water over here. But yeah, let's go for... because we do have some use for residential. So let's just go ahead and put all of this in. Obviously, we'll need to get some power in here. Let's go ahead and just bulldoze those rocks. I never do the rocks manually, but if you do the rocks manually, then you can actually go and fill in the rest of the gaps that they take up. So all of this will probably end up being residential. Because this is a curved road, it's doing it in sections instead of one big chunk, which is a little bit annoying. I could just use the paint tool, I suppose. Do it that way, but this will be fine. So we get all of this coloured in. And that little bit of extra road that's sticking out at the end needs dealing with. I'll get the power lines in momentarily. We've got an issue here with the traffic, apparently. Which is this road going in the wrong direction. Let us go ahead and use the motorway roads with the upgrade tool, and we should just be able to right click. There we go, that solves all of those problems. So the traffic direction has now sorted. We could connect this up directly to this off-ramp. But I'd prefer not to, if I'm honest. So we need to get some power over here. Did we finish zoning? Looks like we did. Let me just go ahead and extend very slightly this road up there. We'll go ahead and just zone that as well. So let's make sure we've got the water going in. So we can run these pipes just directly underground. Let's run from here. It is a risk, of course, that this pipe could get destroyed, but... So this is the thing now that you've got the natural disasters on. You pretty much want to have some form of redundancy in case things get taken out. But there's only so much you can do, you know? Doesn't matter how much redundancy you build, there's still a possibility that stuff will get taken out. So let's build that down there. And we'll go down and do under there as well. And then finally, we will need power across here. It certainly wouldn't be a bad idea to have a little bit of sort of natural power in here. We want the sort of the darker areas. They don't produce a lot of power, but they are clean. So let's, for the time being, just go and run this all the way along to here. We'll start removing the pylons as people start moving in, but I will... one thing that I will do, let's just make sure we're unpaused. I will run those pylons actually over to this side. We'll run them over the water. We might even get like a hydroelectric dam at some point. Don't think we can get them yet. So we can. They're very specific where they fit in, I think. Oh no, we could get one in. Does have a habit of making the water back up upstream. Obviously, there's not a lot of water flow here, so it won't really produce a lot of power. It's where you've got a good flow, you normally better. I mean, that would give us 0 megawatts there. That would give us 80. Actually, get a quite a good one if we built one in there. But again, it does make you more liable to flooding. 64. So is it the closer we build it to the actual sea? Or is it just the size of the dam? Yeah, we could put one in there. Put one in there and get 96 megawatts out of it. Which is not insignificant, but I think we'll wait on that one. We might find a better spot for it later on. But at least we now have somewhere for more people to live. I didn't go and add that in there. Now, there will need some things over here to try and make them happy, so we better get them in. And I guess putting them on the main road is probably the best idea. So let's go ahead and put in the fire service, or the health service, the fire service. I mean, they all might as well go next to each other. And finally, the police service. And they'll need some things to make them happy as well. We're certainly going to need a cemetery around here somewhere. It's a busy residential area. So there's going to be lots of people dying. And we're going to need to collect their waste as well. Let's just go straight for an incinerator here, and we'll put the incinerator down over on this end. It's not going to be ideal, but it will get the job done. So we probably also need to get another metro station over here as well. So let's go ahead and pop the metro station down right here. And we need to get a line in. And again, let's go for the sort of the curvy tool. So we sort of want you to come out in this direction and curve around to... It's a bit of a steep angle wherever we try and go in there. Maybe we have to come from this side. Let's try it this way. Let's go in and... Maybe you just won't go under the water. Maybe that's the issue there. Doesn't look like we can build it under the water. The slope is too steep. Unless, of course, maybe it'll let us build it somewhere on the other side further away. Let's go ahead and try and do that. We'll select it. No, that's not what I wanted to select. To move you, let's go ahead and put you over on this side then in that case, and we'll give that one more try. We've still got people moving out. Okay, so if we move you over here, will that let us connect up? I guess we'll have to connect further down here so that the slope isn't too steep. So right, now we've got that, we can get ourselves another line. So it's going to need power. Yeah, that's fine. But you're going to go from here and connect up to... Well, that's residential. So if you're going anywhere, it's either going to be to this industrial zone or to this industrial zone, and then basically coming back home. So you do need power. That's fair enough. Let's just go ahead and do that for now. So you've got power. So let's find that metro line that we've just created. Certainly a lot of people using the industrial line there. So this is going to be metro line 3. Let's go and make you a nice blue colour. And you are going to be the island line. So hopefully we'll start getting some people moving in over here now. Let's go ahead and speed the game up. And I've been running at a slow speed. But this has been definitely an episode of maintenance more than anything. All of the traffic seems to be flowing. We are getting people sort of coming in. And they do have a way of getting across to the island. What I might consider doing at some point is building some sort of bridge over from the roundabout here. Maybe down to this road, I don't know, or just maybe back over to the city. You've got to be careful. Don't be too liberal with the junctions. If you start building too many, you end up with a lot of traffic jams because you have a lot of junctions, you have a lot of roads. But I think it might be ideal to offer the people another way of getting to and from the island, but that should do for the time being. Anyway, I've gone over the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to end things there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Cities Skylines. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.